Smith keeping a close eye on Kashakian as he continues to take blows from O'Malley.
Oh, that's it!
That is it! Sean O'Malley!
Appreciate it. Thank everyone that came out to watch. Welcome to the Sugar Show, everybody!
In the UFC's galaxy of rising stars, Suga Sean O'Malley shines bright. With his extravagant style, eye-catching appearance and powerful striking, O'Malley has become a fan favorite and one of the most exhilarating fighters to watch in the bantamweight division. But there's more to O'Malley than his dazzling facade. In this video, we'll dive into the life and career of this skinny gangster and uncover how he's made an impact in the mixed martial arts world. Brace yourself for some heat as we unravel the enigma of Suga Sean O'Malley.
O'Malley goes high. Now short uppercut. Tecco covers up. It's a Sugar Shot.
Sean O'Malley was born on October 24, 1994 in Helena, Montana, USA, and spent most of his early life in the same city. He was an active kid, but martial arts never piqued his interest until his father introduced him to MMA at the age of 10. Initially, he was repulsed by the violence he saw on screen, but the more he watched, the more he became fascinated by the sport. For several years, O'Malley focused on American football, but struggled to achieve success due to his physique. It wasn't until a friend invited him to a local boxing gym that O'Malley found his true passion. Although he had no experience in martial arts, he immediately fell in love with boxing and soon added kickboxing and jiu-jitsu to his repertoire. While balancing school and training, O'Malley made the bold decision to drop out of school and devote all of his attention to fighting. It was a risk, but one that he felt was necessary to pursue his dream of becoming a professional MMA fighter.
Partner's in real trouble. Oh my goodness. Jason Herzog's taking a back.
Sean O'Malley kicked off his professional mixed martial arts career at 18, honing his skills in the gym. Quickly becoming a regional sensation, he caught the attention of UFC President Dana White. O'Malley was offered a spot on Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series, a show featuring emerging fighters looking to secure a UFC contract.
Sean O'Malley is that thing. I like this kid. I like everything about him. I like his fighting style, and yeah, he's the guy.
In his debut in July 2017, O'Malley faced Alfred Kashakian, captivating everyone with his striking prowess and flamboyant techniques.
Oh, that's it! That is it! Sean O'Malley with a huge right hand brings Dana White to his feet.
5 months later in December, O'Malley earned his UFC contract and he moved on to battle Terrion Ware in his first official fight. Ware, a well-rounded fighter with a 17-16 record, was considered O'Malley's most formidable challenge yet. However, O'Malley dominated the first round, landing numerous combinations while dodging Ware's strikes. Though he began to tire, O'Malley maintained control and won by unanimous decision.
And still undefeated, Suga Sean O'Malley!
O'Malley's next opponent was Andre Sukumthar at UFC 222 in March 2018. Andre was a tough and experienced fighter. Despite injuring his foot in the third round, O'Malley went on to win the fight by unanimous decision.
Suga Sean O'Malley!
Further solidifying his position as a top contender in the bantamweight division. After a 2-year-long hiatus due to health issues and fight cancellations, O'Malley came back in March of 2020 to face off against Jose Alberto Quinones at UFC 248 and won in spectacular fashion, throwing a head kick and landing punches to Quinones' head before the referee stepped in.
Covers up. That's it. Sugar Shot. Running in color.
Wow! It couldn't have gone any better for Sean O'Malley.
With this win, he extended his winning streak to 10-0. 3 months later in June, O'Malley continued to impress in his next fight, a bout with veteran Eddie Wineland at UFC 250. The fight took place in a smaller octagon, which was thought to favor Wineland, but O'Malley used feints on the back foot to prevent Wineland from closing the distance. O'Malley landed kicks to Wineland's body and caught him with a signature right hand that knocked Wineland out cold. Despite suffering a loss to Marlon Vera due to a nerve injury in August of the same year at UFC 252, O'Malley continued to work hard and train diligently to improve his skills. In his comeback fight in March 2021 against Thomas Almeida at UFC 260, O'Malley showed that he was still a force to be reckoned with, catching Almeida with a heavy head kick and finishing him off with a right overhand in stacked guard.
That front kick up the middle.
Oh, that left hand hurt him bad. He's doing it again.
And again, the hesitation. He gets another.
O'Malley's next fight was against UFC newcomer Chris Moutinho at UFC 264 just 4 months later, whom he dominated for 3 rounds with his long leg kicks and Dominic Cruz-esque movement. Although Moutinho showed heart and grit, he was ultimately overwhelmed by O'Malley's striking and suffered a TKO loss.
Declaring the winner by TKO, Suga Sean O'Malley.
With a 14-1 professional record, Sean O'Malley has established himself as a rising star in the UFC's bantamweight division. Despite setbacks and injuries, he's continued to improve and evolve as a fighter, and his future in the sport looks bright. Sean O'Malley's personality and fighting style have contributed to his success in the UFC. He's known for his flashy striking, including his signature right hook and his impressive movement and speed in the octagon. He's also a master of distance and range, using his long limbs and reach to keep his opponents at bay. Off the octagon, O'Malley is a self-proclaimed skinny gangster who exudes confidence and swagger. His unique personality and appearance, which includes a head full of rainbow-colored hair and numerous tattoos, have helped him build a solid fan base and gain attention in the MMA world. O'Malley's mental game is just as impressive as his physical abilities. He's spoken openly about his use of visualization techniques and positive self-talk to improve his performance in the octagon.
Shout out to the Phoenix Suns. I was going for a little dribble, trying to finish him. Let's go, Phoenix Suns. I was and I wasn't. That's a lot of head damage. I mean, he might not think that was a good stoppage, but it might have saved him a couple years on his life because I was about to put him out for good.
He's also a student of the game, regularly studying and analyzing fights to identify weaknesses in his opponents.
Dude, that's his only hope is counterpunch. Yeah. Look at how surprised he is. He's like, holy.
Despite his impressive performance in the octagon, Sean O'Malley has faced controversies and criticism throughout his UFC career. One significant controversy was his 6-month suspension in November of 2018 due to a failed drug test, which he attributed to contaminated supplements.
Complaint or the alternative, hearing on the proposed adjudication agreement for mixed martial artist Sean O'Malley.
Fans and critics alike have debated the legitimacy of his wins because of the failed drug test, while others have supported it. Another critique of O'Malley's fighting style is his inclination to showboat and entertain the crowd during his fights. While this can be captivating for fans, it can also be seen as being disrespectful to his opponents and could potentially cost him the fight. While O'Malley's showboating thrills fans, it has drawbacks too. Showboating risks losing focus, making him vulnerable to opponents' strikes. It can also signal overconfidence, leading to underestimated rivals and careless moves. Additionally, showboating drains energy, impacting performance in long fights. Lastly, judges might perceive showboating as disrespectful, potentially affecting their scoring. One of the most contentious moments in O'Malley's career was his most recent win over Petr Yan at UFC 280 in October 2022.
For the winner by split decision, Suga Sean.
Many believed Yan should have been declared the winner, but the judges awarded the split decision to O'Malley. This outcome ignited debate and criticism, leaving fans questioning whether the right fighter had prevailed. Furthermore, O'Malley's unorthodox background and flamboyant personality have occasionally clashed with the UFC establishment. His use of CBD oil in particular has sparked controversy, with some officials expressing concern about potential violations of the organization's anti-doping policies. Despite these challenges, O'Malley remains focused on his goals and continues to develop as a fighter. As his impact in the UFC grows, it'll be fascinating to observe his evolution as both an athlete and a public figure.
Sean O'Malley.
It's hard to put into words.
As Sean O'Malley ascends the bantamweight division ranks, fans and experts alike eagerly await his future endeavors. His potential to become a major UFC star has already sparked interest in fighting top contenders in the division, including former champion Cody Garbrandt and current champion Aljamain Sterling. O'Malley has also expressed the possibility of moving up to the featherweight division in the future.
The beginning of the end. He's hurt. Yeah, he's hurt bad.
The combination of talent, charisma, and distinctive personality sets O'Malley apart and ensures he'll leave a lasting impact on the UFC and the sport of mixed martial arts for years to come. Despite his lean frame and atypical look, he's become a fan favorite renowned for his flashy striking and jaw-dropping knockouts. O'Malley's early struggles have made him a stronger fighter and person, with his unique fighting style and psychology garnering both praise and criticism.
Chris is a tough. He took this fight on 11 days' notice when a lot of people in the UFC wouldn't even take it.
As O'Malley progresses in his UFC career, fans can expect to see more impressive performances from the skinny gangster. His future holds a lot of potential in the UFC, and we can't wait to see who he fights next. If you enjoyed this in-depth look at O'Malley's journey, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos like this. Share your thoughts on who you think O'Malley should fight next and what his future holds in the comments below.
Spinning attack from O'Malley. Oh! Wow! And a right hand follows up.
Cody Garbrandt hasn't won a fight since 2012. Peter Yan is petrified. Dominic Cruz is ducking me. Bob Ron, where you at? Welcome to the Sugar Show. This is my show.